Hello and welcome to the Post to Post podcast. It is podcast number 82. I should say welcome back to the podcast because this is the first podcast that we have done. This is really the first anything that we've done in probably the past month. I think the last video that we released on the channel was August 26th. We are filming this on Saturday, September 28th. It will release on Sunday, September 29th. And it is the first podcast of season 4 of Post to Post. And we're back. So took the summer off, basically. Did a lot of personal things. I went camping a bunch, went on some road trips.
Mm-hmm.
You went back to school. Still doing your thing.
Got some learning done.
You got learnt?
I got learnt.
Yeah.
I got more learnt coming up, too. I'm still getting learnt.
Who sings The Boys Are Back? Is that Thin Lizzy?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I would play that right now if I had licensing for it, but I don't. So there's been lots there's been a ton that happened that we have to talk about, but we'd be here for 3 hours going over everything in the summer that happened. And
some fans out there would say, heck yeah.
Yeah, and some
I want
fans
my 3
would be
hours.
Like,
some fans are like, kill me now.
Yeah.
Kill me now. So we'll try to...
So this is technically the start of season 4 of Post to Post. I started it at the beginning of 2017 in January, so we were already halfway through that season. So 16-17, and then 17-18, and then 18-19, and then this season, 19-20. So
Post to Post 4.0.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a couple of things to discuss, a little bit of news about us. We're going to go over the preseason standings as of today, which is Saturday, because we can't film this tomorrow because I'm not going to be in town. So we're filming it Saturday, and it's going to release when you hear this on Sunday. And so we're going to go over the preseason standings as of today, and then talk about some contracts that happened recently, contract signings.
Right on.
And then maybe some more news at the end.
Okay.
And, should be about an hour-ish, 40 minutes to an hour today. You ready to jump into it?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, so coming up on this channel, there's going to be a couple of videos, and by couple, I mean roughly 10 to 15 in the next 2 weeks. There are 7 jersey videos to do, and that's about the new jerseys that came out. Like Edmonton has a new jersey, LA Kings have a new jersey, Buffalo has a new jersey, who else? Calgary has a new jersey, Winnipeg. There's a bunch of teams that have these new jerseys. And
I have to ask the question. Does New Jersey have a New Jersey?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Not that I know of, anyway. I've been pretty disconnected from the world of hockey. I honestly did not follow a bit of hockey all summer long.
Me neither.
I found out about the Mitch Marner signing 3 days after it happened.
Oh, that's bad. I didn't follow either. I don't have a reason for it. I just got so involved in other things that were higher in priority for me. The off-season in hockey is a little cray-cray anyway, all the speculation. And here in this part of Canada, I guess in all of Canada, a lot of the hockey news comes out of Toronto. So it's all about Toronto. It's based in Toronto. It's obsessed with Toronto. And I ain't.
Exactly.
I ain't. And that's what, speak of the devil. But no, I didn't really pay attention. And frankly, I'm here, and I will be here whenever you want me to be here. Mm-hmm. I'm still not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like, we've got the regular season starting in the middle of this coming week, and I'm not feeling it at all.
I was not feeling it until about 2 days ago. And then I looked at the schedule, and I'm like, oh, wow. The season starts literally next week. Then I kind of started getting excited.
That's another factor. I've never seen a month on the calendar go by so fast as September went by.
It's insane.
I wrote down the day. This is how fast time is traveling. Yesterday, I was at a meeting at work, and on the top of my notebook, I always jot down the date, and I jot down the time, and over on the other side, the room number and the building number we're in, because these meetings take place. And then I do an attendance of everybody else who was at the meeting. Like, I do that every time. I go to the date, and I write down 27 September, 1989.
Oh, jeez. That's a little strange, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was really strange. I mean, why?
1989, and 30 years ago.
Like, I knew it ended in 9, so it's obviously 2019 is what I was hoping to write.
You got one of the 4 numbers right.
I don't know, man. That's just, September went so quick that it spun me around.
I was expecting for you to say, like, oh, I wrote down, like, September 14th or something like that. And here it is, September 26th. No, you went all the way back to 1989.
When I screw up, I don't mess around.
Exactly. So, yeah, there's 7 jersey videos. We're going to do 4 divisional prediction videos. So we'll try and predict the Atlantic, the Metro. We do this every year. You can expect all 4 of those videos to release before the season starts, which is Tuesday night. So I'm hoping that we can film those either tomorrow morning or Monday night and then release them all, or some Monday night and some Tuesday, or all Tuesday. So keep an eye out for those. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hope you can go down and hit the subscribe button and click that little bell down below too, because you'll get notified of our uploads. We also have I also have one logo ranking video that was filmed in June that I need to edit and release. Kale's in that. I have one card unboxing video that Kale and I did too. I need to edit that and release it. That probably won't come for another 2 weeks. It's a bit complicated to edit, unfortunately. And then we have to do the jersey giveaway for June, July, and August, and soon September. So there'll be 3 jersey giveaway videos coming in the next 10 days-ish, 10 to 14 days.
And they're going to be distinct, separate videos each time?
Yes. Actually, what I'll do is we'll make one for June. I'll air it. We'll wait a week, because if I don't hear back from the person, then the jersey that they...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to let the person decide before you have a remaining pool of jerseys. So that's why there needs to be a delay.
Exactly.
Got it.
So maybe the way September will work is the first week in September, the first week in October.
There you go.
Will be June's jersey giveaway. The second week in October will be July's, 3rd August, and 4th September.
We're basically caught up.
We're basically caught up and then ready for October's jersey giveaway in November.
In November.
So there are quite a bit of videos coming, and that's just what we have right now. Obviously, there's going to be suspensions, or there's going to be topics to discuss right away. Maybe a trade. Who knows? So we'll make some videos on that stuff too. The podcast will be coming back every single Sunday. We're going to do it every single Sunday. As long as that's okay with you.
Not going far.
There are potential big changes coming, though, to Post to Post. Not massive changes, but more massive for me in my personal life. And there's a chance that I'm moving. I can't really say any more than that right now, but I will be able to say more than that probably in about a week's time. So the next podcast, I'll fill you guys in on everything, but there are definitely changes coming.
Good changes.
Good changes, I think.
Changes.
Well, good and bad changes. Just
yeah,
complicated changes in a way, but good changes, and good. I think good changes long term. So
yeah, and at the other end where the viewers are through that screen there, their continual enjoyment of product will continue.
Wow,
how's that for putting together many big words?
That was interesting.
But what I'm trying to say, very poorly, is that they'll still get their fix of Post to Post.
Yes.
In whatever different realm it may take. But.
Yes, and hopefully it'll be better. So that's good, I guess. I am going to have a contest coming up at the beginning of November. We're going to have a contest. I can't say what it is yet, but I will say sharpen your coloring pencils. Or pencil crayon. Do you say colored pencils or pencil crayons?
I would say colored pencils. Myself.
Is that a Canadian-U.S. thing? I say colored pencils.
Yeah.
I think.
Like one of the things that we see in Canada, of course, because we are a bilingual country and we have bilingual packaging in English and French, the French word for pencil is crayon. So I think, I am taking French, but it's been a while. I know a pen is a stylo, but in pencil in French is crayon. So if you have colored pencils, the box is going to say pencils, crayons, because crayons is the French word for pencils. So I think a Canadian might be more prone to saying, because to me a crayon is a wax thing. It's a thing of wax.
I agree.
And it was great for me because when I was colorblind, the Crayola crayons had the name of the color written on the side. Oh, that's violet.
Yes.
Not just dark blue, which is what I would have thought. So I was really happy about that.
Do you know what pen is in German? Or maybe it's pencil. I can't remember. It's either pen or pencil. Kugelschreiber.
Ooh.
It's like Kugelschreiber or something like that. It's like 13 letters. It's ridiculous for the word pen. or pencil. Whatever.
Like in English, got a pen?
Yeah.
What would all the hockey players doing autographs? Like, oh, I would like your autograph. Do you got a Kugelschreiber or
Kugelschreiber.
Kugelschreiber?
I think it's that. It's something like that.
I gotta love the Germans.
Anyways, let's move on to some hockey news. Have you watched any of the preseason games whatsoever? Or followed anything?
I have followed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I have followed a little bit because Kraft Hockeyville had their game last week in Bathurst. The Renews game was in Bathurst. And at the same time, a split squad of Montreal versus Florida was playing in the Bell Center. And Montreal won both games. The Hockeyville game was a 4-3, and I think the Bell Center game was a 5-4 in a shootout. So I didn't take long the next morning to put the scores up on my little Skype for Business profile in case anyone else who's on my friends list wanted to know the scores. Montreal actually won both games last night against Florida, and isn't that great? And then they pooped the bed against Toronto a couple of times now. So I really haven't been paying deep attention, though. Not really.
Have you looked at the standings?
I did look at the standings, but probably a couple of nights ago, not immediate standings.
Well, I will tell you the standings of today.
I'm going to write them down.
Now, these will be a little different because when you guys hear this and listen to this, it'll be the day after, so these standings will change because there is games tonight.
Games tonight, big games tonight.
Big games.
These are the last games where some of these rookies that are trying to get the roster, at least in the first 10 games of the roster, they're going to be playing their guts out to try to make the team for the opening night, whenever that may be for individual teams next week coming. So it's big games tonight. They don't mean a lot for the standings or for the overall fan base, but they mean a lot for these kids. Yeah,
generally preseason means absolutely nothing, but internally it means a lot to a lot of the players. So okay, so here's the standings as of right now. In the Atlantic, Detroit with 9 points, Montreal with 8, Boston with 8, Toronto with 8, Ottawa with 6, Buffalo with 6, Tampa Bay with 5, and Florida with 5. It's interesting how the preseason, and this is a really good example of why the preseason doesn't matter. Do you really think that Detroit's going to end the season on top of the Atlantic? Probably not.
If you take all those standings and just do that, you're probably going to be.
And for the audio listeners, you just flipped your hand.
I just flipped my hand around 180 degrees because Florida's going to be a damn good team this year.
They are very good.
With Bob. And Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. And Boston is Boston. So you take the Atlantic and you flip around, and you'll find Detroit and Ottawa at the bottom.
You would, yeah. Well, you never know. We might be surprised, but I think you're right.
I hope we're surprised.
In the Metro, New Jersey with 10 points, Washington with 8, New York Islanders with 8, Pittsburgh with 6, Carolina with 5, Columbus with 5, Philly with 5, and the Rangers with 4. Again, I think the Rangers are going to be a better team this year. I don't see them in last place in this division.
I don't see them in last. No, I don't. I think Columbus will take quite a fall with all the losses that they've had, but we'll see.
And I don't see New Jersey in first either. No offense to New Jersey, but there's just the Metro has some strong talent in there. So Central, Nashville with 10, St. Louis with 8, Dallas with 6, Minnesota with 6, Chicago with 5, Winnipeg with 5, and Colorado with 4.
Yeah.
So again, I don't really see Colorado at the bottom. I could see Nashville at the top of the Central this year. I think Chicago's going to be better. Minnesota, I think Minnesota's going to be worse than mid-range. It's going to be an interesting division this year. If we go over to the Pacific, LA has 9, Vegas has 8, Arizona with 8, Vancouver with 8, Anaheim with 5, Calgary with 7, Edmonton with 6, and San Jose with 2.
Yeah, it's pretty much reversed, isn't it? Not totally. Like Vegas will be up there, but San Jose should be.
San Jose 2 points. Well, what are they doing?
Yeah. Well, they must just be resting up everybody.
They must be 2 points.
Look at so many old guys now.
Hey, don't insult the San Jose Sharks.
They do. They're ancient.
Whatever.
There's just rub A535 all through the dressing room. The smell probably knocked you over.
They don't need smelling salts. It's just a jar of that.
Geritol.
What's Bengay?
It's an ointment that's for muscle pain.
Is it for old people?
Yeah, I guess it's for old people and other people who have
you
similar.
Use it?
I've never used it in my life.
Oh, okay.
But I not that there's anything wrong with that.
What? No. I just meant because you're old.
Oh. Well, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, there's not.
It's better than the alternative.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, so there's been 40 to 50 plus contracts signed this year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through them all. I'm just going to touch on some of the big ones in the last couple of weeks.
Greatest hits.
Patrick Laine. Do you know what his new contract is?
I do.
Excellent. I will read it out loud for the people who don't. $6.75 million per year for 2 years. We could go pretty in depth with a lot of these contracts and say, oh, well, why is this person getting paid this much to this person? And we might do that a little bit, but all I want to know is Patrick Laine worth, and I'm going to do this for every one of these people, is in this case, Laine, is Patrick Laine worth $6.75 a year?
Yes.
I agree.
Now, I don't know whose decision it was to limit it to 2 years. He's 21 years old. This is the time when you'd bust out, if you're a Sidney Crosby or someone, and he's not quite a Sidney Crosby, but this is the time when you'd bust out, you'd go for 7 or 8 mil for 5 years or 6 years and become the franchise player. And that's not happening here.
He had a bit of a slow year last year. He had, I think, 50 points last year.
Yeah.
I think he can do a little bit better than that. 2 years, let's show the team what we can do and get that big contract after that, I think.
I think it's actually a good deal for them to get him.
I think so
for that
too.
Money right now.
He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of them, like pure goal scorer. There's not a lot of them in the league. So
if he plays up to his potential in the next 2 years, and then he's 23 at his potential, he'll be calling for 10 mil minimum. And I don't know if Winnipeg can afford it, but they're going to want to.
They'll have to.
Yeah.
Moving on, Matthew Tkachuk.
Yep.
You know what it is?
I do.
Okay. $7 million per year for 3 years.
Yeah.
Is he worth $7 million per year?
It's tough. He's right on the edge there. I really like this player. I really like the energy that he brings to the team, and he's grit and a grinder, and he's badass. I like all of that. I don't know if I like $7 million worth of it.
Really? Because it's interesting he went there first. Because do you know how many points he had last year?
A lot.
77
Yeah,
points.
a lot.
77 points. He is worth $7 million based on 77 points plus all the other things that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
He's a grinder. He's feisty. He's energetic. He gets in people's heads. Like he's worth $7 million based on his performance, and then all that other stuff you get with him. So I'm totally on board for him being at $7 million. Justin Falk, I believe, was a bit of a sign-in trade between Carolina and St. Louis. Correct me if I'm wrong there, because again, I have not been paying attention to really any hockey news. But it looks like he signed for $6.5 per year for 7 years.
That's as good as he could get.
I agree.
As good, because he'll be 34 at the other end of this. And when you're 30, not that you can't be playing good hockey at 34. We know there are players who are able to, but he's being a smart guy. He's lengthening this out. That's as long as you can get.
Yeah, because he wasn't signed by
signed by his team. So
if Carolina had signed him prior to July 1st,
yes, he could have got 8 years. He could have got
8 and then trade.
Yeah, but look, 7 times or
long term, I don't think
6.5.
I don't think it's that bad, because in 7 years the salary cap will be $115 million or whatever. 6.5 is going to be pretty insignificant in the run of things. I think he fits well on the team in St. Louis. I don't think he's a 6'5" player, but I would say that he's a $4.5 million player. We know you have to overpay for defensemen.
Yep.
6.5 is where you're at. I think that's how they got that number, basically. Yep. Braden Point.
Yeah.
$6.75 million per year for 3 years.
I think that's a huge deal.
Do you know how many points he had last year?
No.
92.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That is an absolute steal. I think he took less to stay there.
I think he did too. And not only did he take less, I don't know if you're aware of this little extra part of the contract. After year 3, he's an RFA.
Yes, he is.
That's cool, because they really have a chance to hang on to him for the 4th year, and he'll be worth whatever the market wants.
Exactly.
Right? So
very smart contract on both sides.
Really, on both sides. He's obviously happy to be there. I think this group of players, which bowed out so ungracefully in the playoffs, that in the season that just ended, they have a point to make. Pardon the pun. And I don't see anybody picking any other team to finish first in the whole league and win the President's Trophy again than these guys. And this time they're going to be rugged.
I think they're pissed.
They are.
I think they're legit pissed.
Yeah, and they should be, and the fans should be pissed.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Cooper. You can't tell if he's pissed or not. Yeah, I'm a little pissed.
Who knows, right?
Who knows if he's pissed because you just can't see it. But the rest of them, I think they had a really crappy summer.
Yep. I think they're going to come out and play extremely physical because their neighbors, the Florida Panthers, a big physical team. They're going to be good this year.
They're going to be good.
I think Tampa Bay is going to be a very physical team this year, especially against the Atlantic Division.
Yeah. So a great deal for both.
Absolutely.
He's a steal at that price. He probably could have gone for 8 maybe. Other teams might have paid 8, but he wanted to stay there.
Yeah. So. Good on him.
Right on.
Shabbat, $8 million per year for 8 years. Thoughts?
I don't have any.
I have wonderful thoughts.
Okay.
I think this is a great deal. He put up 55 points last night. He was basically the only positive thing on the Ottawa.
Last night?
Or last night.
Okay. In one night? Yeah, okay. Definitely. He's worth at least $8 million.
55 points last season. He's one of the only positive bright points in Ottawa last year. I think that despite all of the crap that went down in Ottawa, and there was a lot of crap, he still performed. He still produced on the ice, and the fans like him. He seems like a great guy. He's going to be there long term, even before they signed the contract. They already said that they wanted to keep him long term. I think he even said that he planned to stay with Ottawa long term, and obviously he thinks that. He just signed an 8-year contract with them. $8 million, you overpay for a defenseman. He's a good defenseman. He put up, like I said, 55 points last season, not last night.
On a team that's...
On Ottawa.
Yeah, you have to struggle to get points.
So when we look at this contract in 5 years and he's getting paid $8 million, that's going to be a steal, I think. So I like that a lot. Brock Besser.
Yep.
$5.875 million per year for 3 years. I think that's a steal.
I do.
That's a very, very reasonable contract. He could have got 8 or 9, I think.
I would think. And for longer term, too.
Yeah, so he's 3 years. He'll still be an RFA, I think, when that's up.
Yeah, could be.
He put up 56 points last year in 69 games. So I don't think he's played a season yet of 82 games. I think he had some injury issues and stuff. So,
okay.
Maybe that is why his value is a little bit lower, because they don't know about his health or what his consistency of that in that respect. But who knows? Charlie McAvoy, $4.9 million for 3 years. I think that's a very reasonable contract for a young, talented defenseman.
I do too.
I think he took a discount to stay with Boston, to be honest.
He represents somewhat the changing of the guard. Boston has a lot of players that have been around for 10 or more years, and now they have this new crop that's starting to move up. And you can't keep the core together forever. You can't keep Bergeron, Krejci, and Chara there. They're not going to be there forever. This guy could become a franchise player. Yep. He's only 21. You pay him a lot of money. It's a lot of money because he's had some I don't know, bad decision moments back there.
Yeah, when he first came in the league, he was a bit undisciplined. Didn't really like him that much. Over the past year and a half, really liked Charlie McAvoy.
And he's a perfect fit for the culture of the Boston Bruins. Yeah, he's great, and I think it's a good deal for him. It's a great deal for the team, and hopefully when the 3 years is up, he'll be worth more, and they'll be able to pay him, because I think he is the face of the Bruins in the future. Yeah,
there's a bit of a youth movement gaining speed in Boston, so, and he's a part of it. So yeah. Okay, last one on the list here I have is Mitch Marner. I honestly don't really want to talk about it that much just because I'm so sick of hearing his name, but $10.893 million per year for 6 years. He put up 94 points in 82 games last year. Pretty good season. Incredible season, actually. Very good player. One of my favorite players on the team, definitely. Yeah,
and he went at market rate. It took a while to get him locked in, but they've now done it before the season. So it's a much different scenario than with the Nylander thing last year, which really, I think, affected and infected the team all season long. It certainly hurt him.
They can claim that they didn't affect them. I think it does.
I think so, too. So Marner, getting him locked in, a long-term, it's not really a competition between him and Matthews, but I guess it always is a little bit.
They're compared, yeah.
They're compared. They're both highly valuable players, and they're both worth every cent, frankly. I think that's a great contract for both. I think Toronto got a good deal for a premium player here.
I would have paid Marner more than Matthews, just in my personal opinion.
I think I would have, too, especially now.
But it shines light on Marner versus Braden Point. You've got Mitch Marner, who's 22, I believe. Braden Point is 23. If my memory serves me correctly.
Braden Point is 23, yep.
You got player in Marner put up 94 points. Point put up 92. So there's a 2-point difference. It's basically the same offensive production. But you look at the difference in salary, you got 6.75 million per year versus 10.893. Obviously, if you take the term out of the picture, if you remove the 6 years for Marner, remove the 3 years for Point, and just go down by pure money per year, that's a substantial difference for basically the same player in a lot of ways. They're not the same player, but they are in a lot of ways. It really shines light on how good of a deal that Tampa got with Braden Point.
Yeah.
And how Toronto, I don't think Toronto overpaid for Mitch Marner.
I don't think so either.
I just think...
But you look at Julien Brisebois and you look at Kyle Dubas. They're both very smart guys.
Yeah.
But when you look at the end of this coming season, when you look at dollars per point, let's say, or dollars per minute of ice time, I think Braden Point is going to win all of those metrics, all of them, and he'll win them next year and the year after. But I still think I agree with you. Marner's not a bad signing, like money-wise. It's not so much that Marner is being overpaid; it's that Point could have got more.
It's not a shot against Marner's personality, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't get paid $11 million, whatever. I think NHL players in general are underpaid compared to the rest of the professional sport leagues.
Absolutely.
But it's really a testament to Point's personality that he's willing to take so much less money to play where he wants to play. I think if Mitch Marner really, 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 really wanted to play in Toronto, he wouldn't be taking close to $11 million per year. He would try and help a team that is already in salary cap hell take a little bit less for maybe less years to help the team. Not that he should, not that any player should do that to help the team, but when a player like Crosby does it, or a player like Point does it, takes less money, it really shines a light on their personality and their need to win.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, good joke. Yeah. So that's all the contracts we can talk about for a little bit. I'm sure there'll be some trades and stuff coming up in the next couple of months and whatnot. Okay, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this, but I think maybe we could talk about it a little bit, the Auston Matthews situation. I'll just start out by saying, and I actually don't have a lot to say in this situation, just a couple of minutes, maybe we'll talk about it. I generally don't care what hockey players do in their personal lives. I follow a couple of hockey players on Instagram because they have cute dogs and they post pictures of their dogs. I like dogs. I like seeing pictures of cute dogs. That's really one of the like Matt Duchene. I like his dog. I follow him on Instagram. He's got a cute dog. I like his dog. Other than that, I don't really care what hockey players do in their personal life. I know there's certain players like Jake Allen.
Sure.
He's a local boy. I want to see what he's doing and stuff around Fredericton and whatnot. So, but generally, I don't care who they're dating. I don't care yada yada yada. I don't care about PK Subban, who he's dating and all his Instagram videos and anything like that. I like him as a person. He's funny. So the fact that all this drama is going on with Auston Matthews and he exposed himself or whatever,
not
as.
It wasn't a front shot.
No, he didn't expose his Johnson.
Even the back shot was covered in boxers. It wasn't.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't bare.
No, but he
bareback.
Yeah, I know. He exposed himself. That part's funny. That doesn't bother me that much. I don't think it's sexual assault. It's like, let's come on. Like, let's not be offended by freaking everything these days. Like, it's just a butt.
But you got to think about what led up to it.
And that's my problem.
That's my problem too.
Regardless of, like, it's in the middle of the night or it's dark, whatever, and it's a bunch of guys trying to get into a car with a girl in there. It doesn't matter if she's a cop, a security guard, whatever. Like, that's going to be scary for the girl.
Yep.
That's not okay. That's just idiotic by him and whoever was with him. And I think he knows that. Auston Matthews isn't a stupid person. He's like, maybe he was intoxicated, whatever. So not cool. That's my opinion on that. Shouldn't have done that. That was dumb. But everyone makes mistakes. I don't think Auston Matthews is the type of person where something else is going to happen in a year.
No, this is not. This does not a pattern of behavior make for him, especially now.
Yeah. No,
but I didn't think his media availability the other day in Toronto, I think it was after a game, was that good.
I didn't see it.
It was only maybe a 30-second clip that I saw. He said he can't really talk about it. He feels bad, but he's not going to say much more. He's focusing on doing what he needs to do to make the team better, and just turn it into the same talking point garbage that we usually hear from them. But I think his message was tightly controlled. I don't know where it goes just yet. I agree with you. At his age, if I go back to when I was his age, I don't think I ever did that. I certainly didn't try to get in a car that had a lone female occupant with a couple of buddies.
We don't know if he was the person to actually do it. Maybe he was just with the people who did that. So we don't know if he, from what I read, we don't know that he did.
That's true.
Maybe he admitted that he did. I don't know yet, but
there is some security video, and I don't know if the video shows the attempt at the car, but it does show some guy, an unidentified male, going through the parking lot with his pants around his ankles, which was later, I guess, presumed or identified to be you-know-who.
Yeah.
So that part was seen and verified. The cop, I read the two police complaints, when the cop visited the complainant and then went back to the building manager to look at the CCTV video. And so I read both of those. There's a few things blacked out. For the most part, it's all described. So there's no question these things happened. But my overall thing, I'm like you, I don't really care what players do in their spare time, in their private life. I am concerned in a mild way about the credibility and the upstandingness of the game. I like to see or consider hockey to be, I don't want to say a better sport than others, but when you look at
it's a very classy sport.
It's supposed to be a very classy sport. The players arrive at the arena dressed in suits. And this isn't just in the NHL, folks, and most of you probably know this, but when you've got AA and AAA level players, even at the age of 12 or 13, they're dressed up. They're dressed up when they pop off the bus at a town 100 miles away. It's part of the culture. We try to be classy. We try to be, as a hockey culture, I'm not going to say better than, ... But if we are better than, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we look good.
We look damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that didn't look good. Just overall, didn't look good.
I want to hear his version.
And you probably never will.
Probably never will. If he has his day in court, if there are court transcripts available, I'd like to read them. I don't want to throw all the blame on him right now. I think we should, in all fairness, we should listen to what he has to say before we make any kind of serious judgments.
What they will be very, very invested in doing, I'm sure, is his lawyer, his legal team, the team's legal team, will be bending over backwards to try to make a negotiation with the DA or whoever carries the case down there, because one thing we cannot have is him ending up with any kind of criminality in his record.
Oh, yeah, that would be bad.
Because that essentially can make it impossible for you to cross the border. He might not be admissible to Canada, where does it make sense he'd only play 41 games a year for the Leafs, those games that are held in the United States? It won't get to that. It just won't, because the professional sports can't stand that.
Exactly.
And they just can't stand for it. So you'll likely see a plea to a lesser misdemeanor type charge that doesn't result in a criminal record.
Exactly.
There'll be apologies and maybe a fine or community service, volunteering, something done.
Which, I mean, he's probably already done quite a bit for that city.
No question.
In general. So
no question.
Doubt they're going to make him do more community service other than all the stuff he's already done. People make mistakes. So,
and he's like, his parents are very involved in his life. They come to a lot of games. I'm sure with all the emotions he would be feeling, first off, when he came to his senses after the effects of his pops wore off or whatever it was he had, probably he's feeling bad for what his mom and dad would think of him and all those things. So he's already being punished now, and anything that the legal system gets involved in is just a little more on top of that. It's a good time if you're going to learn a lesson, it's a good time to learn it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do feel bad for the female security guard.
Totally.
In general, because that would definitely be scary.
She was a military veteran, and she had seen some traumatic things in her past, and she has, according to the police complaint, she had told them, at least during the incident, that she had PTSD. not from that incident, but
Right.
but PTSD is something, if you have it, then other things can trigger a recurrence of the symptoms. So,
Yeah, that'd be scary for sure.
oh yeah, really.
Do you have anything else to add on that topic?
I do not.
Okay. Do you have any other hockey news that
A
you'd
little
like to
bit,
discuss?
just
Okay.
one little piece.
All right.
This man right here, which we can see because he's facing us, but the viewers can't see.
He's on the back of the Stanley Cup.
It's on the back of the Stanley Cup, and it's Guy Lafleur.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any of the Guy Lafleur news in the last couple of days?
No?
He had a cardiac diagnosis that was sudden. Didn't know anything was wrong.
Yeah.
And yesterday or the day before, or late last week, by the time you're hearing this, he underwent a quadruple bypass heart procedure in Montreal.
Wow.
Excuse me. Yeah. And it was successful. So it looks good. But of course, in a quadruple bypass, they essentially take veins from another part of your body, typically the leg,
Yeah, the leg.
and they replace the blocked ones that are surrounding your heart muscle. And in this case, being a quadruple, they did 4 of them.
Yeah.
And
That's significant.
it is significant. And it's always scary because for some of this, you have to stop the heart while you're working on it. And then you got to restart it. And that's kind of crunch time, isn't it?
That is crunch time. That's.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going into that and knowing that.
You might not come out.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is very scary for him, I'm sure. Now, that all said, Guy Lafleur, despite his amazing production, he's the only player in the history of the National Hockey League who went 6 straight seasons with at least 50 goals and at least 100 points. No one's ever done that since, ever.
Wayne Gretzky's not done that?
Gretzky's not done it. Crosby's not done it.
Huh.
Nope, he's the only man ever to do it. 50 goal seasons times 6, and all those same seasons, at least 100 points.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So that all said, though, he was never known as an athlete.
Oh?
He's an amazing artiste and technician, but he's not an athlete.
He was fast, though.
And he's not a picture. Oh, he's very fast, but he was not a picture of health. He would do his work in short bursts. He could skate like the wind for 20 seconds at a time. And then after the period was over, in the dressing room, he'd haul out his pack of Export A.
Oh, really?
And smoke like a chimney.
Really?
All his life. And for all I know, maybe he doesn't anymore. But he would smoke between periods during National Hockey League games. And I'm not even sure that he didn't smoke on the bench.
Wow.
Maybe once or twice when the
Can you
urge took
imagine
him.
seeing that today?
I can't.
A player smoking on the bench,
I
or just in
can't.
general.
I can't really. While other players are going in between periods and taking oxygen, Guy's sitting there smoking, smoking a dart.
Smoking a dart. Wow.
So I just wanted to call. Like Guy Lafleur was a big part of the hockey culture in the '70s in Montreal, and still is. He had a bad falling out with the team at the end of things, and I think it was 82, 83, or 83, 84.
Because he went to Quebec, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He wanted a better contract, I think, in Montreal, and it didn't come. He wanted like a longer-term deal, and he was just kind of fed up. So he played 19 or 20 games in the last season he played with Montreal, and he retired. Mm-hmm. And then he came back a couple of years later, played some for the Rangers and played some for the Nordiques, and then retired again. But it never ended well, and that's unfortunate because just like Toronto and Dave Keon and some other players that have had a little falling out at the end of their career with the team, it takes decades sometimes to patch that up again.
Patrick Waugh is a good example.
Exactly, same thing. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, I'm glad to hear that the procedure went well. He probably will get some advice from his doctors as to what to do and what not to do. And from what I understand, and I know some people who have had bypasses, when it's successful, I've never talked to those where it wasn't successful, but when it's successful, when you wake up the next day, you feel so much better.
Really?
Because your heart is finally, after years maybe of getting not enough blood to the muscle, all of a sudden it is, and you feel like you can just take over the world.
Wow.
Yeah. It's quite something. When
Interesting.
It works. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you don't have any other hockey news, I just have a couple of things to touch on.
Sure.
The weekend of October 20th, there will be no podcast. That is the weekend that I'm going to Maine to visit some peoples. So I will not be available in any capacity to film that weekend whatsoever.
You will be incommunicado.
Yes. If you would like to film a podcast by yourself, You feel free to, but
I'm probably
no
good.
pressure.
I'm good. If I film a podcast, sorry, I'm popping my peas. If I film a podcast by myself, it'll likely be for my own channel.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I have that on my list as
Oh,
well.
okay.
You have started to post your travel vlogs on
I
your
have.
YouTube channel, and that channel is called Brent Taylor, I believe. If you just search Brent Taylor and maybe VY2HF on YouTube, you'll be able to find his account or profile.
Yeah.
And well, I think you have 2 or 3 videos up there so far.
I have 3 so far. I'm hoping to produce another 1 or 2 over this weekend, and I'll upload them as soon as I get them done. And you've been kind enough to help me out with some thumbnails, so when you see the thumbnails for those videos, they'll look quite familiar. They have that big impact italic font or whatever,
Yeah.
and they look really good. So, but if you're not back in time to give me a thumbnail, I'll still put the video up and just add the thumbnail later.
Yeah, no worries. And you probably have at least 6 or 7 or 8, 10, 15
Probably
more.
10 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was over there for 17 days. Some of the days will be compacted 2 days into one video. But yeah, it's everything from driving up to the airport here in Charlottetown to getting off the plane in London and then each day after that. And some of them are boring. Like if you don't like me giving history lessons from the Tower of London, don't bother. But if you find it somewhat interesting, I would like to know, and I'd like to, I'm not a marketing person for my channel yet.
Right.
I want to be that, but
'Cause you want to make some travel tip videos.
I do, and I have the topics. I have 18 topics already identified for travel tips for those who may be traveling in general, but specifically to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
There are things you need to know about the voltage and about what groceries are like, and some of it's vastly different. Like if you book a room on the first floor of a hotel, when you get there, you're going upstairs.
It's actually this. The second?
That's right. Because there, the ground floor is what we would normally call the first floor, and the first one up is the... So anyway, things like that. If you think I'll just book the first floor. That way I won't have to carry my suitcases up the stairs. Guess what, buddy? You just lost. So, things like that.
All right.
I'd like to do more, and I'd like to be better at it, too.
The more you do, the better you'll get.
Exactly. Look at you. You were crap when you started.
Yes, I was.
No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
I was
I'm just
literally.
kidding. No.
That was a joke, but it was 100% truth. What are you going to use to film?
I don't know. I might ask to borrow a camera. If you have,
Okay. Yeah.
I like that G7X.
Yeah,
I know you want to sell it to me.
Yeah, I'll sell it to you.
Can I get it on the installment plan? Probably not.
Yeah, maybe. I'll give it to you for future considerations.
Okay. Yeah. How about this? You give me the G7X, and when I die, you can have everything of mine.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, because you're getting that anyway. So,
if you want to see some of my summer travels and photos and stuff, you can follow my Instagram. It's NeilTaylor. There's 2 R's at the end. I've just been posting some camping pictures and
starry night stuff. Oh, that's been great.
I did the Cape Breton Trail or the Cabot Trail in Cape Breton 3 times this summer. I did lots of camping.
Man.
Yeah, I'm hurting the ankle in March and being on bed rest for basically 3 months and leaving the house 6 times in 3 months basically is really lit a fire under my butt to get out and do stuff this summer. Yeah. So that's one of the main reasons why I was not around.
Yeah, I still see you hobbling a little bit. How is that going?
In the morning, it's a bit of a hobble, but usually after I'm done my shower, good to go.
Right on.
Good to go. Yeah,
that's good. Are you going to put the skates on again this fall or?
I hope to at least go for like a public skate just to kind of get my bearings again and stuff. Yeah. But probably not play hockey this fall. No, it's not quite back there yet. So
right.
That's all I have. That's all the notes I have. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can film probably Monday night those 4 videos. So you might want to get your predictions ready and for that night.
I've already done some research on them.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I have. I can tell you my number 1 team in each division already. But it's fine.
Excellent. Oh, I knew there was something else I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to Chris Wilkinson, who's been on this channel before. If you've watched the channel for a while, you would have seen Chris before. He just posted a video to his YouTube channel, and I think that the general viewer would love it. He does, it's called Difference Between Seasons, and he's driving up Queen Street in Charlottetown. So he's driving up in the summer, and then he transitions to the exact same place driving in the wintertime in the middle of a snowstorm.
That's cool.
So if you just search on YouTube, Chris Wilkinson, Charlottetown, Queen Street, you'll probably find the video. He just posted it today. It's awesome. I want you to watch it.
I definitely will watch it. I love that before and after whole thing. I can't get enough of that stuff.
It's really cool. And definitely go subscribe to Chris because he has all kinds of videos on there that I think you guys would find entertaining.
Now, he's known as Spin Photo on Twitter, right?
Yeah, I think it's Chris Wilkinson, though, on YouTube.
All right.
And we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. He posts videos every couple of weeks, I would say. He's got some more mystery boxes from Princess Auto to unbox. So.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, check out Chris on YouTube. He's got some good stuff. And you might see me on there as well in a couple of videos. So thanks for joining me for this podcast, number 82.
Good to be back.
Yeah, good to be back. Thank you guys for watching or listening, regardless if you're watching on YouTube or listening on iTunes or whatever. Thanks for coming back and listening, and thanks for understanding that we needed some time away, needed to recharge, and it definitely was needed. I was definitely getting burned out a little bit, and I think that was quite apparent on camera and with the content. So I'm glad to be back. I feel a lot better, and hope you guys are enjoying the start to the next hockey season. We're into preseason, so let me know how your summers were down below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys and hear what's going on in your lives. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and we will see you this week in actual Post to Post videos. Adios.